Hi all, I've done quite a few Marvel movies, so let's go on to the DC movies. Starting with well-known 1978 superhero movie starring Christopher Reeve, which is Superman the Movie. So in 1973, Ilya Salkind first came up with an idea for a Superman movie. In November 1974, after a long difficult process with DC Comics, Ilya and his father Alexander and their partner Peter Spengler have bought the rights of Superman. The filmmakers felt it was best to film Superman and Superman 2 back to back and to make a negative pickup deal with Warner Brothers. William Goldman was approached to write the movie. Lee Brackett was considered for screenplay. Ilford Bester, who began writing a film treatment. Alexander felt, however, that Bester was not famous enough, so he hired Mario Puzo to write the screenplay at a $600,000 salary. Francis Ford Coppola, William Friedkin, Peter Yates, John Guillermin, Ronald Neame and Sam Peckinpah were considered to direct the movie, so did Richard Lester, who later directed Superman 2 and 3. George Lucas was considered to direct the film, but he was busy working on Star Wars at the time. Ilya wanted Steven Spielberg to direct the film. Alexander wanted to wait till the first Jaws movie came out to see how the reviews would go, and it was successful. By the time Spielberg was asked, he was focusing on his work Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Guy Hamilton was hired as a director, while Puzo delivered his script for Superman and Superman 2 in July 1975. There was a lot of rewrite for Jor-El due to the cast and crew commitments. The script was finished in July 1976 and had a camp tone, including Telly Savalas' cameo. The scripts for Superman 1 and 2 were now at 400 pages combined. Mark Robson was originally to direct the film, but the producers picked Richard Donner instead after he was planning working on Damien Omen 2 when he was hired in January 1977. For $1 million to direct Superman 1 and 2. Richard Donner felt it was best to start from scratch, and he was dissatisfied with the campy script and brought in Tom Mankiewicz to perform a rewrite. Mankiewicz conceived having each Kryptonian family wear a crest resembling a different letter, justifying the S on Superman's costume. Christopher Reeve plays Kal-El, aka Clark Kent, later known as Superman, who was born on Krypton and raised on Earth. He has superpowers such as fly, super strength, and can't die unless it's by kryptonite. He uses his powers to save people and planet Earth, keeping his identity secret as Clark Kent. He became a newspaper reporter in Daily Planet at Metropolis, and I think Reeve is perfect as Superman. Definitely my favourite casting for the character. Jeff East plays young Clark Kent, but voice dubbed by Christopher Reeve in the final cut. Brilliant casting. In terms of casting the lead role, there are many casts considered for the role, such as James Caan, James Brolin, Lyle Waggoner, Christopher Walken, Nick Nolte, Jon Voight, and Perry King. James Caan said he just couldn't wear that suit. Neil Diamond and Arnold Schwarzenegger both fought so hard for the role. Robert Redford was offered, but he was too famous. Burt Reynolds also turned down the role. Sylvester Stallone was considered for the role. Paul Newman got offered for the role as Superman, Lex Luthor and Jor-El. Chris Christopherson and Charles Bronson were also considered. Warren Beatty turned down the role. At first, Christopher Reeve wasn't to be casted as he was too young and skinny, but eventually Reeve got screen tested, which impressed everyone. He was told to wear a muscle suit to produce the desired muscular physique. Reeve said no to that. He was never a Superman fan, nor he read the comics. However, he watched George Reeves' Adventures of Superman TV series. Marlon Brando plays Jor-El, Superman's biological father from Krypton. He's so good in this. Gene Hackman plays Lex Luthor, a criminal mastermind who's the enemy of Superman. He gives fantastic performance. But like I said, Robert Redford was considered for the role, but he turned it down as Marlon Brando's casting for Jor-El caused Hackman casted as Lex, as he wanted deliberately to work with Brando, impressed by the producer's ability to cast famous actors in respective roles. Warner Brothers decided to distribute the film internationally rather than simply domestically. The filmmakers made it a priority to shoot all of Brando's and Hackman's footage because they were committed to other films immediately. Plus, Hackman hesitated shaving off his head and moustache. So Richard Donner made a deal with Hackman that if he shaved off his moustache, he would shave off his own. Hackman relented, and when he returned to the set, Donner had revealed that he was sporting a fake moustache the whole time, which caused Hackman to laugh. Margot Kidder plays Lois Lane, the reporter of Daily Planet and Clark's love interest. She has a great chemistry with Reeve. Anne Archer, Susan Blakely, Leslie Ann Warren, Deborah Raffin and Stockard Channing were considered for the role, and being screen tested, Starmaster suggested Kidder to take the part. Ned Beatty plays Otis, Lex's henchman. He's pretty funny.
She's got her own place, Otisburg. It's a little bitty place. Otisburg? Okay, I just wipe it off.
And plus the character is first created in this movie. Jackie Cooper plays Perry White, the boss in Daily Planet, who's similar to J. Jonah Jameson. He gives off great performance. Keenan Wynn was originally to play him, but he had to drop out due to his heart disease. Glenn Ford and Phyllis Thaxter plays Jonathan and Martha Kent, Clark's adoptive parents. I think they're brilliant. Jonathan works as a farmer, and he's pretty much like Uncle Ben, except he died of heart attack, which is an emotional scene.
Oh no.
Those things I can do. All those powers. I couldn't even save him.
Apparently, Phyllis Thaxter was Ilya Salkind's mother-in-law. Valerie Perrine plays Eve Tessmacher, Lex's girlfriend and accomplice, who's not so much keen on Lex's evil plans, especially when he fires a nuclear missiles at her mum's hometown. Valerie is great as Tessmacher, and plus this character is created in this movie also. Mark McClure plays Jimmy Olsen, a photographer at the Daily Planet. I really like him, he's canny. Jeff East was considered for the role. Terrence Stamp plays General Zod, leader of the 3 Kryptonian criminals banished to the Phantom Zone, and I think he's perfect for the role.
You will bow down before me! Both you, and then one day, your heirs!
Apparently the film and its first sequel were originally conceived as one film, with Zod and his evil conspirators returning later in the film to challenge Superman, but the writing was so long that the producers elected to split into 2 parts. Both parts began shooting simultaneously, but production on the sequel was halted partway through due to the budget and time commitments. Terrence Stamp returned for the second movie to be the main villain. Sarah Douglas and Jack O'Halloran plays Ursa and Non, Zod's henchmen. They're brilliant as well. Caroline Munro was originally to play Ursa, but she turned down for her performance as Naomi in The Spy Who Loved Me. Susanna Yoke plays Lara, Superman's biological mother. She's great too. Trevor Howard plays the first Elder, head of Kryptonian Council. Maria Schell plays Vond A, a top Kryptonian scientist. Harry Andrews plays the second Elder, council member. Kirk Allion and Noel Neal, who were the first actors to play Superman and Lois Lane, did a cameo as Lois' parents in a deleted scene, which is cool. Also, did you know, William Russell, who played Ian Chesterton in Doctor Who, appeared in this movie as 8th Elder, which is so cool. Larry Hagman and Rex Reed also makes cameos. I think the casts are perfect. The direction by Richard Donner is phenomenal. The story and everything is so faithful to the comics, and the effects is pretty good for its time. Jerry Goldsmith was originally to do the music for the movie, but he got dropped out due to his commitment, so he went to John Williams instead. And I think it's fantastic, so iconic and memorable. It really suits Superman perfectly. And ironically, Jerry Goldsmith did the music for Supergirl film. There's some great atmosphere on Krypton. It is so cool seeing a spaceship flying to Earth with Infant inside it.
Which Einstein called his theory of relativity. Chang is right. Point out the
Not gonna lie, my gran recalled crying watching that scene, which is because the movie came out the year after my dad was born. The origin story is amazing. I like the fact that Clark managed to kick the ball into space.
It's out of the park!
Also when he's running faster than a train. Would be cool if we can do that. There's amazing speech from Jor-El.
My son, as we break through the bounds of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
And it's pretty entertaining watching Clark's clumsiness.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
But when he's Superman, he's badass.
Hey, Jim! Woo!
Excuse me.
That's a bad outfit!
And like I said, Christopher Reeve nails it. And it's a great introduction for Superman in the iconic scene with the helicopter. Also brilliant line.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me! Who's got you?
Speaking of brilliant lines,
Hi there. Nothing wrong with the elevator?
I love how chill and friendly he is towards criminals while catching them.
Bad vibrations?
Also that he got the cat down off the tree.
Come on. It's all right. Here you go, miss.
Gee, thanks, mister.
And it's so funny where Otis gave Lex his bathrobe while still in the pool.
And Otis, by the way, the next time, put my robe on after I'm out of the pool.
Great line. Superman and Lois flying scene is pretty romantic and pretty iconic.
You need to be loved.
The bit where Superman tries to save the world from earthquakes is superb. And it's so sad that Lois has died. Superman screaming and the way he flies off is so effective. At least he turned back time to fix it. Stephen Hawking said if you ever train that track, expands the entire world and it can travel around that track 7 times per second, then theoretically you can travel forward in time, but you can't go back in time. Maybe Superman is Superman, so that's how we can do it. So after Lex and Otis are in jail, the movie ends with Superman breaking the fourth wall. By smiling at us right over there with the likes of Tom Baker as Doctor Who smiling at the camera. They both nailed it. I think this movie is brilliant. The story is well supported to comics. And of course we get the 3-hour extended version where they added deleted scenes including what happened to Testmarker at the end, which had been worked for decades until 2017. It was a thought the quality of the extended network TV version was inferior to any theatrical or previous home video release because it was mastered in 16mm and a mono sound mix, done as by the time the extended cut was fixed in 1981 stereo was not available in television broadcasts. However, during an inventory of the Warner Brothers library, an IP master of the full 188-minute television version was discovered. This 18-reel master was not marked with an aspect ratio, but the print was inspected and, as it turned out, was in proper 2.351 Panavision ratio. This was the source of the Warner Archive Collection Blu-ray release of what would officially be called the Superman the Movie Extended Cut, issued on 3rd of October 2017. The video release was visually restored by Warner Brothers imaging department, and other than the opening and end credits, the film is presented in enhanced version of the mono TV sound mix. This particular release also includes another version discussed below. This movie was listed as best superhero movies ever made. Roger Ebert gave the film 4 out of 4 stars and puts it on his great movie list.
2 big yeses for the Man of Steel.
I highly recommend this movie. It is my favourite Superman film. So next movie coming up is Superman 2.